Welcome to week 6. This week, our focus is meeting the needs of all children. By the end of this week, you will have an increased understanding of differentiated instruction, including ELL, gifted, struggling students, and those with disabilities. You will have developed an understanding of the importance of various groupings: whole group, small group, and individual. You will have an understanding of anti-bias curriculum implementation, and you will have completed the context for learning and delivery of instruction sections of the lesson plan. Assignments for this week. You are to view the video on differentiated instruction, read the article on the importance of various groupings. There is also a video on culturally responsive teaching that you'll need to view, and an article, Understanding Anti-Bias Education, bringing the 4 core goals to every facet of your curriculum, that you will need to read. Homework assignment 6.1 is your discussion forum, which deals with anti-bias curriculum implementation. Please remember your initial post is due Wednesday and 2 peer responses are due Saturday. Please be sure that when you respond to your peers, that you aren't just copying and pasting your response. Your 2 peer responses should be different responses to different students. Homework assignment 6.2 is a reading response. You are to research and write a reading response explaining anti-bias curriculum and culturally responsive teaching. Remember that you are to use at least 2 resources, and this will be scored using the reading response rubric. It is due on Saturday. Just a word about your reading response. Please be sure that within your response, you have cited the 2 resources that you've used. At the end of your response, you have referenced these 2 resources. Homework assignment 6.3 is completing another portion of the lesson plan. This week it is the context for learning and the delivery of instruction. Here is a copy of the discussion forum rubric. Just a reminder that your initial post needs to be 250 to 500 words, and each response to your peers needs to have at least 150 words and should foster further dialogue by asking questions in your responses. And then you should get a response in return. Here is the video on differentiated instruction. It's only 5 minutes and 30 seconds long. It gives reasons why we should differentiate instruction, how to differentiate instruction. It gives examples, and also what does a differentiated classroom look like. I want to make sure that you're able to get to the article about ways to arrange students for group work. Great. Here is another video, which is also short, on culturally responsive teaching. And here is the article that you need to read on understanding anti-bias education, bringing the 4 core goals to every facet of your curriculum. Assignments, as I've mentioned before, is your discussion forum, your reading response for the week, and your partial lesson plan that is due by Saturday. Now, I want to talk about this part of your lesson plan that you are completing. I'm sorry, bear with me. This week, you are completing the context for learning. This is where differentiation comes into play. You're going to need to differentiate your lesson for your ELL students in this class, for your low and underperforming students, for your gifted or students that need more of a challenge. And for those students that are gifted, more of the same work is not differentiation. When you differentiate for your gifted or higher achieving students, you want to go deeper into the topic. And then you're going to also need to include a plan for those that have an IEP or a 504 plan. If you have any questions about this section, please ask me before you submit it. The next portion of the lesson plan that you're going to be completing is the instruction, delivering effective instruction. This portion of the plan is where you are writing down everything that you will be doing so that if a substitute would walk into your room, the substitute could teach the lesson and understand why you are teaching this to your students. You need to have an introduction to your lesson. Now, in that introduction, what strategy are you going to use to teach that introduction? And there are lots of strategies that you have looked at and talked about. For example, Kwl Charts, Jigsaw, Anticipation Guides, QAR, which is question-answer relationships, Exit Slips, Admit Slips, Think Alouds. That's just to name a few strategies that teachers use to teach this learning activity. So in this particular example, the teacher is going to create a KWL chart. And the purpose of this is to see what information the students already know about a particular topic. It also lets the teacher know about information the students are interested in learning and what you will need to teach them. And then this is the learning activity. This is what they're going to be doing as a class, and it's only going to be about 10 minutes. The main body of the lesson, the teacher is going to use the Think Aloud strategy, and that is to give them information about the topic using a trade book. Usually these books are filled with wonderful illustrations, explanations, and a lot of vital information that the students need to know about the topic. And sometimes these books have experiments and activities that are associated with the topic that can be used during other lessons of the unit. This is approximately 30 minutes in length, and this tells exactly what the teacher and the students will be doing. Another strategy for this lesson that the students will do is flip charts. Flip charts reinforce the information that students have learned. Closure. How will the teacher close this lesson? And the strategy or activity that will be used are alphabet books of rocks and minerals. And the purpose of the alphabet book is to ensure that students have adequate practice with the academic language, and it serves as a resource that students can refer back to in case they have questions about a particular term or topic. It's also a great tool for visual learners because they're able to see a drawing that they created themselves that can best remind them of what each term means to them. And then this is what the students will be doing. If you have any questions about these two sections, the context for learning or delivering effective instruction, please ask me before you submit this portion. I look forward to reading your work for this week. Hope you are enjoying the class. Thank you.